Well, I will be clicking into the game then, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have diarouga versus Snow. This is a round of 8 matchup, so a very important one, quite late into the tournament. And we will have Aztecs versus British. And of course this is the Mono Civilization tournament, so that means we will have this matchup every single time in this series. And well, bwinner, after we've checked the map, perhaps you can give us some insight on how this match should play out.
Yeah, so this is known to be a great favored matchup, heavily. I think Jaruga is quite unhappy that he has to play this one. But it's quite complex, I would say, because Aztec can do a lot of different things, and
Yeah.
Great has that kinda to adapt on it.
Okay,
And
so quickly, do you think Snow might be missing a hunt? I'm already counting.
I'm checking as well.
I
I
think
don't
the
think so. I think he has. Oh, okay. Do you mean because this one is a bit
yeah, it's
out
on the
of position?
plateau basically, whereas
Yeah, but I
Daruka.
think he can help that still. I'm not
Okay,
100% sure. Mm, yeah, I think that's fine because this one is a bit far as well for Jaruga. In
yeah.
the end, that's the same distance, I think.
Okay, then we're just going to play ahead, and yeah, like you said, Daruga wasn't really happy with this matchup, and last days he has really been spamming the forums about how he's probably not going to win, and how he didn't want to face British so early in the tournament, since well, he thinks it's a really hard matchup for Aztecs, and yeah, he cannot pick a civilization anymore, so has to make with what he's got.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not very sure about the mine situation because there is three for Jaruga and maybe on one less for Snow, but
Okay,
the two first are fair, so
do
I'm
you
not
want?
sure. Then there is this one, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. What do you think?
Well, personally, I don't really like restarting it, so that's why I would just want to continue. But if you think it's unfair, then sure. We're a little bit late with
No,
that, though.
no, I think we will just play.
Okay,
I think that's okay.
okay. So what's been happening so far
Yeah,
is
there was the llama
yeah.
contest.
Of course, on the west side of this map, there spawns the llamas, and they're quite important for some food boost once you hit up to colonial, or maybe even to speed up your colonial age. And after those
Yeah,
llamas have been picked up, they are actually going to start scouting and getting treasure. So that's a little bit how this goes usually.
yeah, exactly. And there are the three for Snow and the no four for Snow and that was four as well for Jaruga, but he has just started to eat one, so he wants to use it for foraging faster, as you say. Oh, no, there is some treasure contention here.
Yeah, Dairuka really happy with his 40% hit point increase from the treasure. Of course, that's a quite a powerful one for Aztecs, since they can turn their hero into a meat shield basically, and soak up a lot of damage. So that's
Yeah,
it's quite
and
an important
especially
one.
Jaruga is quite famous for his abuse of War Chief with Aztec. He usually do some builds where he use Chief up for the H3 and then use him as a tank. Yeah, Interfair. Well, it's a bit unlucky because the hunts of Eric run out a bit far from the TC. So no, it looks very unfair, but it wasn't at the start of the game, and we can't just change the wheels. No, it's too late.
Yeah, and as you can see, Daruga with a lot of villagers on his fire pit right now. So he's trying to pump out a
Yeah,
lot of shipments. And let me take a look at the shipment sent tab, because I think that's the most important one to look at right
yeah,
now.
free warrior priest.
Yeah, of course, the three warrior priests to increase the fire pit dancing rate. And I think he's producing warriors right now,
Yeah,
isn't he? Yeah, he's already got 5 of them. Let's take a look at all units. Yeah, so
But one thing we need to mention is that Snow has scouted it very early with his explorer. He was around the fire pit, so he knows exactly what's happening.
yeah, exactly. He walked in there with his, was it his hero? Yeah. Um, okay, looks like he's trying to secure that hunt that has already walked away a little bit from the plateau. And
Yeah, it's unlucky because it was here at start and now it's here, so it's very far and he can't hold it anymore to the TC.
yeah, still an interesting position for his outpost though. Because it takes a while for his villagers to actually walk over there, and Aztecs may as well cut them off where they're walking to that. So, interesting
Yeah.
position. But maybe Aztecs isn't really. Okay, there he's finally putting up his warhead. I was thinking.
Yeah, he uses 700 wood to do that usually. Yeah, it's a bit late, but that in the end that's only 5 minutes, so that's okay, I guess. And meanwhile, Eric is starting with a stable, which is very classic for him. I know he likes a lot to raid and start with a stable, therefore.
Yeah, and no units out for diarouga yet, except of course for the warrior priests that are now all 10 dancing on the fire pit. And now he's finally putting up his warhead, so now is the chance he can actually build some units. But is he actually going to build a lot of units in H2, do you think? Or do you think he has some more tech play in mind where he wants to go to the Fortress Age earlier?
He will go to the Fortress Age at some point, but he will probably build some units in H2 before that because he needs to ship 5 vills, I think, and that means he can't really age at the same time because it would be maybe risky, and I don't know. He also wants to ship some other stuff in H2 before aging up and getting some upgrades with the market.
Yeah, okay, so here come the 5 Hussars from Snow, but luckily diarouga has got his Puma Spearman out at the right time. And unfortunately, Snow's hero did scout those Puma, so he's aware of the threat and he knows he cannot make any mistakes with those Hussars or they're gonna get caught.
Oh, he's gonna get a 1 villager down.
Yeah, 1 villager's been taken down, and no Hussar has taken any damage yet, except for 1, which has lost like 100 HP, but nothing too significant. So nice pick for Snow, I would say.
Yeah, he was splitting his hussars, and that's very effective when there is pikemen because then it's a bit hard to deal with them. He's very good at doing this. Snow is a very famous team player, I think. So
Yeah, he's a very famous team player and also a very famous vanilla player. I believe he reached like 3000 elo on vanilla, and definitely one of the best vanilla players there is. And well known for his constant raiding. Even when there's a big fight going on, there's always a few musketeers or hussars somewhere in your base trying to get some of those villagers. So definitely one to look out for.
in the end, they will both age up, but diarouga is already aging up now, so he's faster for this. And I don't dislike the position of diarouga because he has a lot of warrior priests in the fire pit, so he has a lot of XP and therefore a lot of shipments, which is good when you are in H3. But on the other side, Snow has a lot better economy because with Grit he was able to build quite a lot of miners. That being said, he's only at 100 population, so that's not
Yeah,
so many.
he didn't send 600 wood and he has not been gathering that much wood. So in the end, he's only like 10 village population ahead, which of course is significant, but the warrior priests do kind of make up for that. And okay, diarouga losing his hero here. That's not really something he would want, I think. He's aging up with the chief, which improves his hero in combat. So it's definitely important for him to keep his hero alive or at least dead near his town center.
Yeah, and Snow is aging just now, but he has killed a few more vills now. He has killed 3 vills and 3 pumas. for losing 4 hussars.
Did Snow just go in trample mode with that one hussar to take out like 5 warriors in one blow?
Yeah, that was a good move.
That was a really good move. I think that's kind of what the whole trample mode should be about, basically. Not in big fights normally, but to quickly dispose of a lot of low HP units.
Freezing? What's that?
There was definitely a big lag spike there. I'm not quite sure what caused that. Let's hope that
No.
the rest of the game is okay and just a one-time spike. I mean, those do happen. Between other problems, what has been happening else? Diarouga has now aged up with the chief, which improves his hero. He's now got a total of 1600 HP, so that's quite influential, quite important. Of course, that treasure with another 40% did really help. And Snow is aging up still, and he's aging up with the adventurer, which gives him, I believe, that's the 7 longbowmen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the only viable aging up option for Brits when it's not a water map.
Yeah.
On water map, you can choose the Caravel on the 400 wood, which is pretty good, but otherwise, I'm not even sure what you have. I think you have something with natives, which sucks. I don't know what is the fourth one.
Yeah, it's definitely not really a choice at that point. So 7 longbowmen is the preferred age option for British here. I really like how he's put some hussars here to the side to scout any units going to the east side of the map. And looks like Diarouga is noticing that he should have an advantage in military right now. So he's pushing out, and he just sent the Smoking Mirror card, which makes his hero even a stronger unit in fights. I believe it makes him faster.
Yeah, and it gives him a lot of speed.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, he can, for example, take out 2 falconets with his swashbuckler attack quite nicely. And that's definitely quite an important thing. But I assume Snow notices this, and he knows what cards have been sent. So I don't think he will send 2 falconets right away. But
Oh, well.
oh, there it is. Okay, so this can potentially be very bad for Snow if that hero makes contact with the falconets.
Oh,
let's
there
see
we
what
go.
happens here. He's going in, doing the swashbuckler. Yeah, that's
Oh,
one
he
falconet down.
misclicked.
Oh, he's misclicked on another unit?
Yeah, he killed
He killed a longbowman.
or something.
Oh, that is actually game changing. That falconet could have gone down for sure. The swashbuckler attack
Yeah.
does 210 damage, and the falconet only has 200 HP. So that could have been a
Yeah,
devastating blow.
That must be very frustrating for Diarouga, this misclick.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
I assume he's going to switch his dance to revive his hero.
Yeah,
Yeah,
already
that
done.
it already is up. Yeah, it's going so quickly with 10 warrior priests. So it's definitely very
Yeah,
good.
he's using him
dance.
to prevent the raid. Otherwise, he would have lost quite a lot of villagers, I believe.
Yeah, and now these 2 falconets are actually quite a threat to this army. It's mostly infantry based. I believe the Eagle Runner Knights are technically not infantry units.
Yeah.
I think, but.
But I think they are not cavalry either, so Falconet don't have a negative multiplier against them, and they are not very good at killing the Falconets anyway. So,
Yeah, exactly.
oh,
So
royalty.
looks like it's now time to go in, and I think that hero is trying to reach the falconets again. Let's see if he can make a useful swashbuckler attack this time.
But he doesn't have the crack shot.
Oh.
It's not the crack shot, because it takes a lot of time to reload, I think.
Yeah, and now it's all down, but Snow is still got some cavalry left. I think a lot of Puma did decent damage against the goons at some point, and they were definitely in combat.
Yeah, the goons are very effective against coyotes, I believe. I don't know exactly what
Yeah.
is the multiplier because it's not shown in the stat of the units, but I know that there is a big one. And
Yes.
they are efficient.
So all things considered, I think this was a decent fight for Diarouga, but the follow-up is really questionable. I mean, Snow is now 20 villager population ahead, to diarouga,
Yeah, he
and
killed some more villager, but no, the raid is getting cooked, and Snow will lose some units here. So maybe there will be a window for diarouga to counter push because he will have a better military population, and you sometimes can do a lot of work with that.
yeah, so diarouga still has got a decent army, but indeed he's getting harassed constantly, and at some point Snow will just outmass him if it
Yeah,
continues
just
like
doing more
this.
builds. Hmm. Yeah, and what I'm not sure, but I think. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, I think the military population includes warrior priests, so they are still useful for the fights because they provide wardens, but they are not technically fighting, so that's not really 10 military units for Jaruga.
Yeah, of course, and they do cost population, so they do appear on that graph.
Or perhaps I'm not sure where they appear, but well, I need to check. Mm,
Well, if you look at the
no.
military units tab in the UI, it doesn't list the warrior priests, so perhaps they're
Yeah, that's
not
true.
military units.
Yeah, I think actually they are not counted.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Let's see. Diarouga is now trying to push out a little bit with his Mesa Houghton and Igor Knight army. He's not really harassing villagers like Snow would have done. Like sending 10 Igor Knights to here would definitely be a huge deal to Snow, since most of his army is still infantry. And yeah, Snow is doing exactly that, just sending a few hussars back to harass villagers. And I
Yeah.
think if Diarouga did that right now, he would have been in a better position than fighting these longbowmen and musketeers, since
Yeah, I think Jaruga is winning this fight quite decisively, so maybe he will have an opportunity still to win. Oh, and look at this, he's reviving his war chief with the healing dance of
yeah,
the warrior priest. That was a nice move.
yeah. So those hussars in Diarouga's base are getting caught, and in the fight here, the Minutemen have been used up by Snow, and he's now down a lot of military unit population, and he's got twice the eco. So Diarouga is on the clock right now. He needs to make something happen with this army,
Oh,
and
that's
makes to
true.
happen because Snow still got a good follow up with all his villagers, but the Haruga has got the army right
Yeah,
now.
for sure. Yeah, but the problem is that he needs to kill this army, and that won't be easy for Snow
No, definitely
because,
not.
yeah.
Well, if he makes
Oh,
trades like this, that's pretty good for him, since those students are just gonna caught out of position.
yeah, but no, there will be another fight, so we will see. But I think Diaruga will win it again, and that might be a problem for Snow.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's killing the moose.
and every
And
fight that Daruga makes where his hero is in the fight as well, he gets double XP, which is not to be underestimated. He's getting a lot of XP just from his hero alone. Let's see if he already did the big button research.
yeah, he
Yeah, he
did
did. Okay, yeah,
very
that's
early.
so. This is definitely a good position for Daruga for now, I would say. Just let's see if he can make something happen. Raids like these are really important, where you just and there it is. He has
Oh,
resigned.
already, okay.
GG 1-0 for Snow.
Yeah.
Dar-
For Diaruga, you mean?
for yeah, 1-0 for Daruga and one loss for Snow. So Snow not too happy with that result, definitely, and
Yeah, obviously.
Daruga should be a little bit more confident in his matchup now. Yeah,
Yeah, but what's I'm not sure that then this map is not the best map for Snow because the hunts are not the greatest. Still, they are decent, but the maps that are following now. I think we have Hudson Bay and then I'm not sure, but yeah, Hudson Bay is a great map for wheat anyway, so it will be harder for Jaruga this one, I believe.
yeah. So that 40% HP treasure. How does that really work when combining it with other upgrades? Does it like scale with the H up HP increase?
No, it doesn't scale. I mean, it's on the base stat, not on the current stat.
Okay, and also not doesn't stack with the cards or something.
Um, no, it doesn't. Um, yeah, so there we go for the next map. Um, yeah, and I don't know if we talked about the player, but Jaruga and Snow are two very famous players. This match was a um, a very good match. Everybody was expected it, and Diarouga is mostly a 1v1 player, while Snow is mostly a team player. Um, the thing is that Diarouga has not been playing for approximately 2 years, or he was playing very few, and now he's back since I believe September or something like that. And yeah, it's the first tournament he plays since he's back, I believe. So we will see how he performs on it. He has already taken down Tit, who was playing India, and someone else, I don't remember who. While um, Snow, yeah, so that's a very famous player who also, yeah, he has won the previous big ESOC tournament, the autumn championship. So he's definitely one of. They are both one. They are both some best contender for the winning of this event.
Yeah, definitely. Both very strong players with their history in playing AoE3. So that makes me so excited and so hyped for this series. But it looks like Daruga wasn't so hyped. Of course, he should be very happy now that he's won the first game. It should give him a little bit more confidence. Let's see if he can make something happen with that. Um, we're now playing on Hudson Bay, which has got the interesting trade route for trade posts along the route, and of course the water in the top of the map. But I'm not quite sure if any of them will actually go water. We'll have to see about that.
Uh, it it could be, it could be. And yeah, we have to notice that it's the summer version of this map, so there is some island on water, um, and that's a bit different from the winter version. You also don't have ice near the water, which is better to go water because then you can protect the water easily.
Yeah, of course, all the maps in this tournament are winter versions, except for Hudson Bay, I believe. I'm not quite sure why that is, but Hudson Bay is still very summery and nicely looking.
Oh,
And okay, so we have some treasures being picked up. Daruga got the 60 root, and Snow is trying to work on native warrior, but takes him a little bit of time. So Daruga might actually scout it if he doesn't
yeah.
pick it up fast enough.
He's not going this way, so that
Okay.
should be good for Snow.
Yeah, Daruga's going for a 90 foot treasure, of course, helping him get his H up time in quick. Um,
Yeah, and it's a very good treasure to have this tomahawk. You can deny forward base, and yeah, even though it's good because now the British explorer can win against the Aztec explorer, which
yeah,
wouldn't be the case without this guy.
yeah. Let's see
So
if we are getting a
Joe
fight
is
here.
taking the fight.
Yeah, he's taking the fight, and that wolf is getting shot off with the crack shot, I believe, even, or maybe just a normal shot. And now
Yeah,
his
it was crack
hero.
shot.
It was a crack shot, and now his hero is being tracked. So Daruga probably not too happy with this contention. I'm not quite sure why he engaged in that fight. He did see the tomahawk, but
Yeah, but at least the tomahawk wasn't in melee mode, so it didn't snare the explorer,
yeah,
and
exactly.
Jaguar is not dead.
So
That's already Good.
Yeah, so Daruga can still scout around and potentially take this treasure of 95 wood in the top of his base, which would
Yeah.
be quite significant for him. Okay,
He already has this small one. It's
yeah, just
always good to take this, even
converted to
though it's
wolf.
not the best.
Okay, and
Yeah.
what do you think is going to happen here? Are we going to see a direct replica of the
Well,
last game,
I
or?
perfectly know what will happen because I played some game with diarouga before, but I don't want to spoil it because it will be very interesting. Just, I can't say one thing. You can look at the deck of diarouga.
Yeah, he's got a lot of water cards actually. He's got four water cards in his deck, whereas Snow only got the one, I believe. Yeah, Snow only got two caravels. So Snow definitely is not going heavy on water, but Daruga might have something for water in mind. And you're saying you already know what it is, so now I'm going to try to find out as well. He's got a town dance as well. This is
Yeah, tendons and also some other improvement like the H1 shipment for improving building and the H4 shipment for heavy fortification. So you
yeah.
see, it's really not a standard deck, and you can expect some crazy stuff in this game.
Okay, well, I'm really excited. So far, what has been happening is mostly he's dancing on the fire pit again with all his villagers, and I think he's just training warrior priests again. So nothing too new there, and we'll have to see what his shipments are, since they will be really an
Yeah.
indicating factor of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then the other side of the map, Snow is playing normal, I would say, building some manors, a lot of manors on the some one market. I think he built more than previous game, um, but it's not like something special. He doesn't have Virginian company.
Yeah,
Oh, and the agent.
he made
Oh,
three manors during transition and a market, so that's quite a boomy route, I would say. Building his outpost a little bit forward to secure a hunt again, just like he did last game, basically. And
yeah, because he can do that because he's scouting very early with his explorer, and he sees the fire pit with a lot of stuff on it, and
yeah,
then he knows he can take a bit the map, and
and
yeah, that's smart to do.
now we even have walls going up. So Snow is
Yeah,
going to build a barracks here and maybe make units even before Daruga, since Daruga is just now tucking up in his base and he's making walls and going for full fire pit. So I think this is a little bit of a role reversal, where as normally you would see Aztecs being more aggressive and British being more boomy.
yeah, definitely.
It looks like Daruga is.
And we have a villager here, so we'll probably see a dock now.
Yeah, I assume Duck is incoming and maybe even a wall, not a wall here or something. A warhead
Probably, yes.
right in front of Daruga's town center, so he's definitely going to try to go on the defensive side. So far, their
Yeah, because
economy has been quite even, but
yeah, when you see walls like that, you have to expect some water, and that's why this tomahawk is scooting the dock now. And it could be some trouble for Jaruga because Eric can ship the two caravel, and then it's a bit hard to hold for Aztec if he ships it right now.
yeah, so far Snow has been going just economically in terms of his shipments. 700 wood and 5 villagers being really standard. He did make some musketeers, but I'm unsure as to how effective they can be, since all Daruga's villagers are in his base behind a wall with a warhead, and there's not much he can do.
He,
Daruga
he
now,
can siege the market, so on the house. Both are.
yeah,
mm,
so he can harass a little bit, but probably not going to kill a villager anytime soon. Warriors now coming out for Daruga, and meanwhile he's sending a villager to this island to build another dock. So here,
yeah.
sorry. So a lot of
Yes,
things.
that's a good move.
Yeah,
Because if he stays to build his dock here, he can be raided by the musketeers, for example, and then he can build the dock. But no, he just chooses his fishing boats to go to the island and build the second dock very safely.
yeah, and Daruga now put up a second dock, so try to trying to pump out some more fishing boats. Maybe next is going to be a war hut on this island. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen.
Oh, it's a house.
Yeah, it's a house for now. It looks like Snow is, by the way, has got the good response to all this water shenanigans. He's building trade posts. He's going to take the entire route, and well, I'm not quite sure if you're going to see a trade monopoly, but definitely a trade post route.
Oh, okay. I don't think Snow scouted it, but it was very close, so it was lucky for diarouga.
Yeah.
He could have lost.
If you take a look at this trade post, the most significant upgrade right now is, I think, the Huron fish wedding, 20% to fishing boat gathering for, well, 75 gold and 75 wood, but also 200 wood input to actually build a trade post. So I'm not quite sure if that's totally worth it if he doesn't make any Huron all game, but perhaps.
Yeah, this upgrade is really insane, I think, so that's totally the reason why he did that. But yeah, as you said, it's a bit expensive. And now we see the musketeers moving in here, and if they siege the dock, it could be trouble because, okay, he goes back, because diarouga, no, he can't lose the water because he has too many fishing boats and the house here. So that would be very sad for diarouga to lose all this to the water. So now he really need to be careful with it and not lose it.
Yeah, if you take a look at Snow, he's gathering a lot of wood with 15 of his villagers. He's now just sent 700 coins, so he's definitely going to age up and going to build the maximum amount of manors. He's going for the full manor pop with his wood gathering. So he probably knows he can't be too aggressive right now, since these walls and the water is just going to repel him. But going A3 with 4 upgraded trade posts and a huge manor pop, that's probably the way to go for him. So he's changing up his strategy a little bit.
I'm not so sure about that because I believe he didn't use the musketeers he built in H2 to their max potential. He could have done a better job with them. They didn't do much so far, so I don't know if that's so good for Snow. He has also some hussars.
Yeah, so these warriors are all getting killed very quickly by the musketeers. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough range. I'm not quite sure what the range is on those warriors, but they were too close to the musketeers.
Yeah, and now he will siege the dock. So we will see if he ships some caravels meanwhile. Oh, no, actually, it seems he's not shipping anything, so...
Yes. So what is...
diarouga is not gonna lose water now. But Snow probably doesn't know about the second dock.
Yeah, perhaps not, but maybe if he scouts a big... If he scouts the entire shore and he doesn't see another dock, then maybe he will know there's something going on, since the diarouga score is... pretty okay, so he must know there's something up.
Yeah, but yeah, one thing I need to mention is that Aztec, okay, they have the free Barbary Corsair shipment, but other than that, they don't have a very big warship shipments. So okay, but he sent it now, so water is safe. Sure,
yeah.
But it might be a bit of an overcommitment for diarouga to send this free warship, which costs some gold.
Yeah, I hope at some point he will actually scout out the flag from Snow, so or at least the shore of Snow, because he's now building a dock, and these 3 boats can defend that dock from going up, but he needs to be there. So don't stand still. Don't let those warboats just stand there. Just scout out and see what Snow is up to.
Yeah, but anyways, that's a good thing for diarouga that Snow is building a dock, because otherwise, if this free warship would have been totally useless. While now they will be enough to defend, because if you think about it, at the first time it can be hard for Aztec to defend because they don't usually can ship this warship in time. But once they have this defense setup, they have the canoes instead of European normal warship, and canoes are really strong.
Yeah, the one thing that's really strong about canoes is that you really overkill them very quickly since they're very cheap and have a quite low HP. So using your shot attack on the boats, I'm not quite sure what it's called exactly, broadside attack, really overkills those canoes, which is really strong. Meanwhile, what's been happening? Improved buildings been shipped by the diarouga, so uh, that's
Yeah, look at
interesting.
these walls now. They have 6k HP.
Yeah, so it's not even Bastion yet, but already an insane amount of HP on those buildings. Now putting up more warheads in his base. He really needs to slow down Snow since he's aging up and building warheads, and he really needs to win some time. Otherwise, Snow can do a lot of damage with this army.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see Diarouga building another layer of walls here to protect the fire pits.
Yeah, so his town center has got a massive 136 attack, and his warheads have got 57 as well. So this improved buildings card is perhaps even worth it at this point.
Yeah, it's paying off, I guess, but I'm still a bit worried for Diarouga. Okay, he's moving his fire pit to another place now. He just deleted it and rebuilt it here. That's smart play.
Should definitely finish this warhead that's still standing there. But looks
yeah,
like it's
that's
now.
a bit bad. Okay, now there was a timing when there is no fire pit and Snow can siege this building very fast. He needs to rebuild very quickly this fire pit. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so the buildings have got the town center has got 30k HP.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
This is insane. This is normally something you only see in 3D games, really. But we have it right here, and the warheads have got 10k HP, so their damage is not to be underestimated right now. The only thing that can really do good damage against those buildings, I think, are the falconets, because that town center is not going down.
No, no way. But yeah, I'm still a bit worried. Okay, he's using a lot of.
Okay, they're jaguars.
Jaguars, yeah. We will see if that does anything. I'm not sure that's very good because they are not enough to do anything to this army. So I don't know why he decided to fight with them. Okay, so that's still hard for Diarouga to deal with this army.
Smoking mirror now out, so he's going to fight with his hero.
Yeah, if he revives him, no.
Yeah, he's going to take down those falconets easily if he revives him in not too long. He's not changing his dance yet. Oh, jaguars.
Yeah, the problem if he revives it is that he needs to stop the tone dance for a bit of time, and then he might lose his building. But
I'm not quite sure.
The cannons are done anyway from the TC fire.
Yeah, that TC fire is so strong. Even when it has a penalty against siege units, it's still very strong. So he's sieging the town center. I'm not quite sure if he realizes the amount of HP that thing has. I don't think he's
so stupid. He can't siege that. That's impossible.
He definitely shouldn't siege that. Those warheads behind it are worth a lot of damage as well, and I don't think this is going down.
Well. Yeah, but on the other side, what can Snow do? He could go H4 maybe and wait for the mortars.
Yeah, if you look at Snow's bank, he's got 3k food and over 2k wood stacked up. There's now some war fight going on as well. I didn't even pay a lot of attention to that. 2 frigates are out and 2
needs
caravans.
To react to that very soon.
Yes.
That's a good idea to fight on water, I think.
Yeah, Snow's got a lot of control. He's trying to contest the sea, and he's got all the rest of the map, including the trade posts. It might not actually be a bad idea for Snow to go H4 and just trade monopoly, as we saw some Pukunku do against Kinnisi as well.
Yeah, the problem is that Aztecs, they have this, how do we call them, this archer from the noble huts.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yes, they can siege the trading posts from like this one and this one
Uh,
quite easily. So
yeah, the
that could
Arrow
be
Knights.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
On the other hand, Snow still got the military advantage by a long shot, and even economically, I think he's ahead right now. Um, Snow on two town
Yeah,
centers, entire
he's
trade route, and well, the few boats that Diarouga has, I don't think it's too important. I think Snow is going to win in the end if this goes on for so long. He's going to age up right now, and Diarouga is nowhere near aging yet.
oh, but oh, I'm a bit surprised that Diarouga didn't send the water dance.
Yeah, indeed.
But instead he sends improvement of range and attack of warship, which is good as well. Oh, look at this!
Oh, okay. So
Snow will try to go this way, I guess.
yeah, let's see if Daruga can actually focus that boat from Snow and kill that entire army at once, because that would be game changing. But I think the boat with all the units in it is
It's this one.
yeah, exactly.
He changed his mind because it was very risky. Then if he loses his, he loses the game on the. He doesn't want to take this big risk.
Yeah, offshore support is now in, and his warships with 27 range now, and quite a lot of attack are coming out. Those war canoes are now pushing
Yeah.
out, and yeah, I think they're going to
Yeah,
win this fight.
Diarouga is trying to age as well, I think, by the way.
Yeah, but Snow is already pushing out right now. Even before his age up finished, he's again going to Daruga's base. Meanwhile, the sea fight, Daruga is definitely winning this one, and yeah, maybe Snow should just give up on sea for now because looks like
Yeah,
he's
it seems impossible to fight against Aztec on sea. Oh, he's building another frigate. I dislike that. It will just die.
yeah. This is just a wasted 1k resources. He's got some culverins right now. He's built them from his artillery foundry, so those are going to be really good. Not really against the buildings of Aztecs or against his units, but against the warheads for sure.
Yeah, yeah, sure. But the culverin are very good against water as well, and I believe this is why he built them.
Yeah,
But it's a bit too late, so
the culverins
I'm not
really.
sure it's useful.
Yeah, me neither. The culverins really aren't useful against the Aztecs units as well, since they
No.
don't really have pure artillery units. All their artillery are basically weird
Yeah,
infantry
definitely, I would
units.
have preferred to see some mortars here to siege the buildings.
Yeah. So now again, his buildings are under attack. His warheads with 7k hit points and his town center with 22k hit points. So taking a long time for Snow to take it out, but I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure
and
if
Diarouga is
he
aging
minds.
up.
Yeah, and Snow not on 99 villagers yet. I believe he should get that out at some point.
Yeah. The thing is that if Diarouga manages to age up and then send heavy fortifications, it will be literally impossible to siege down all these buildings.
Oh, of course, heavy fortifications, giving him his strong and mighty warheads immediately, but well,
Yeah,
he doesn't
imagine
have.
the wars with that.
Yeah, it also gives him Bastion, of course. But on the other hand, does Snow really care about killing all these buildings? Can't he just do trade monopoly or go to Imperial at some point? Since well,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not quite
He
sure
could use
if
trade monopoly.
if
It
Daruga
doesn't
really.
seem to be in his mind right now, though, because he has not the native TPs, and it still requires 5 minutes to do the trade monopoly.
Yeah.
So he should start it very soon if he wants it to be effective, because like if he waits too long, maybe Diarouga will eventually be able to go out of his base anyway.
Yeah, Daruga I mean, his economy isn't super bad, but Snow's is definitely stronger, and I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure how diarouga is suddenly going to win this game. No heavy fortifications out yet, and diarouga keeps
Um,
respawning his hero, but Snow also keeps getting XP from killing that hero.
yes, that's true. Um, but yeah, I think the plan for diarouga is just to buy enough time so that it becomes a 20 game. And okay, there we
Oh,
go. Heavy
there it is.
fortification
So
on the wall
20k.
of no. Yeah, 20k USD.
Maybe it's time to actually build the mortars now. Not the monitors, but the actual mortars from the artillery foundry, since they do pure siege damage.
Yeah, but diarouga stopped the wardens for a bit of time. I don't really know. Maybe he was reviving his explorer or something. So yeah, okay, now it's
Oh,
back again, but there was some damages on his stone shot.
those arrow
Yeah, there is this
knights.
arrow knight.
Those just sniped that falconer down, and now there's only an infantry mass left for Snow, and he's got to get out of here. This is turning out to be quite more interesting than I thought it would be. I'm still not confident that diarouga is really in a good position, but his score is very inflated right now. So definitely don't take
Yeah,
a look at the score, because he's basically getting a lot of technologies that he won't really use. I'm
yeah.
not. I'm not.
Plus, it
Yeah.
gives some extra scores that are not even related to the technology. I mean, when you send heavy fortifications, the um, the points for the technology are counted twice, and that's why the score is so high.
Ah, exactly. Okay, so this score is still in favor of Snow, if you would take that
Yeah.
into account. So that's something for the viewers and us to pay attention to. Uh, Looks like Snow's been following my advice, and now the mortars are coming out. Let's see how well they can do against these massive
Yes,
walls.
that's definitely a good idea. And he was here in time to prevent this new layer of wall to go up, which would have been really a pain for him to deal with. And now he can siege the town center, and yeah, he can basically siege almost everything with with his mortars if he comes in the middle of this wall.
Yeah, and in the meantime,
Oh,
take a look at Snow's bank. He's almost got enough to age up to the Imperial age, and once he reaches that, his upgrades and units become so strong that I think that's basically GG once he will reach that. But let's see if diarouga can make something happen before we are at that point. Definitely, this fight is quite nice for him. His hero is doing a lot of damage and tanking a lot of shots as well, and diarouga is getting a pretty good fight here.
yeah, but he's losing the town center
Oh
on
no!
the other side,
He
and
just
still has a lower eco.
he didn't lose the town center because the mortar was just getting
Oh,
shot. There was one shot away.
oh no.
377 HP left on that town center, but it's not down. Snow
Oh,
definitely
that's
not
insane.
not too happy with that. It was very close.
Yeah, no, I could see Jaruga winning in the end. I mean, he's repealed his push and he's no safe for a while because he can just build this layer of wall now and be safe for so long. So I can see Jaruga winning now, but
That
he
would
still
be
needs to find a way to counter push.
yeah. So Snow is now aging up. He's halfway aging. If diarouga pushes out right now, I think he would have a pretty good shot. He just sent 15 coyotes, which of course would do really well against this pure longbow mass. But Snow still got a lot of resources in his bank. He's got all the infrastructure set up. He's got 5 mills
Yeah,
in his base, two factories, and still got enough mines to actually just gather gold from natural resources. Um,
not for a long time. So there is just yes, all these mines are low on gold if you look at it.
yeah,
Only
so
this
at
one.
some point you have to go to
That's not so
plantations,
good.
but this longbowman mass, of course, doesn't need any gold. So for now, he can safely spam those units. Let's see if diarouga can make something happen here. I'm not quite sure now that the Imperial Age is out.
Yeah, that's a bit hard for Jaruga. One good thing too for Jaruga is that when he's not in defense, he can use the fire pit for doing something else than building dance, and he can have XP or the war chief and stuff. So that's a big help for him to fight. Because this war chief is doing really insane damages.
Yeah, so far, diarouga is still surviving in this fight. He's got a nice follow-up, another tank coyote coming forward. Let's see what the first techs are for Snow that he's researching. Techs completed in the 5th age. Nothing yet. Okay, so far
Yeah.
this age up has not been
He's
really
hitting-
effective. 3 rockets.
But one thing you need to notice is that Snow has still H3 musketeers. They are not even guards, so
Yeah.
he's far from getting H5 units. I think.
Same with his veteran hussars that are still on the field. The only thing he's got
Exactly.
guard are the longbowmen. So this age up has not been effective, but still I think Snow is in a decent position. Those 3 rockets are being nicely defended by villagers and hussars and longbowmen. 20 maces are now out for diarouga, but well, what is he realistically going to do with 20 maces against those 3 rockets that are... Oh,
Yeah,
there
he
are
needs
arrow
more
knights! The arrow knights are...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about them. They are sniping very efficiently this rocket actually.
Yeah, and another swashbuckler attack from Daruga's hero, and he's winning this fight. So it's amazing how quickly you can turn the tide once you're in this late stage of the game. 9
It's still a close
musketeers.
game because there is big reinforcement coming for Snow, so it seems that the fight is turning out in a good position for Snow. No.
Yeah, I think Snow is still in a winning position after all. He's now upgrading his musketeers to guard, and pure musk and pure longbowman is actually quite strong against the Aztecs, since you don't really have artillery units. So
Yeah.
I am still thinking that Snow is in a better position, but Daruga is definitely trying to make the best of his situation. And
Yeah, Snow has still is still 1 age ahead and has a big economic advantage with 2 more TPs and even without that, the 2 factories. And Diarouga is not maxed on villagers. He only has water going well for him. Diarouga, I mean.
yeah. Let's see, now veteran hussars also being upgraded to guard, so he's got a lot of guard upgrades out. Techs completed. Still no Imperial upgrades out for Snow yet, so far has not been too effective at doing those.
Oh, but he's killing
yeah.
a lot of villagers.
Yeah, this
now.
is a really good push by Snow. Now all of his units are guard, and
Yeah, that's not the same like veterans units. It's a lot harder for Diarouga to deal with. It
yeah,
seems.
he's upgrading his Mesa Haltons now, and his Coyote Runners and Eagle Runner Knights are already guard, but Snow just does have more mass in this fight, and definitely has a better follow-up. He's just pumping out 15, 20, 30 musketeers a time, and Aztecs is struggling to get a lot of resources out, a lot of units out.
Yeah, it seems to be an hard position for Diarouga, but maybe I could see him holding this push at least. But still, I don't know how he will win the game. He can hold for a long time, for sure, but I don't know how he will win.
Yeah.
But still, he's far from getting pushed into his base because, yeah, there is still all this wall on the building to kill for Snow. Snow is wasting a bit of musketeers here.
Yeah, Snow is now building his first plantation and upgrading it. So finally he's really settling up for the late game with his plantation infrastructure. Maybe that gives Diarouga a window. But once again, he's still far from aging. And fighting age 4 against age 5 is... really hard, I would say.
Yeah, I don't see really Diarouga pushing out now. I think it's not possible for him with his current army. He doesn't have enough, I believe. So he will have to wait, and maybe he can build more eco at least from this window time.
Yeah. He just upgraded New Year Festival. Does that give him the XP?
Is that the big button of the fire pit?
Yeah, I think so. It's like a moon. I
No,
think
that's
that's
not from the fire pit. Let me check.
text
Uh,
completed. New Year festival. Only thing you see on the picture is a moon. I'm not quite sure what it is.
I don't remember what it is, to be honest. I'm sorry.
It's not something you see that often, probably.
Oh, maybe it's something from the farm,
Oh yeah, that is definitely possible.
but I
Okay,
don't remember what it does.
so diarouga is now full on his attack then. So 2 horse artillery out for Snow, but his hero from diarouga is going there to swashbuckler them down, being quite effective at it.
Whoa, yeah,
Horse
just killed
artillery
everything.
are both down now. Only thing that's left is a big musketeer and longbowman mass, and against just mostly eagle rider knights and mesa haltons. So I think Snow should still be comfortable in this fight.
Mm,
Still no imperial upgrades though.
yeah, I think Diarouga has more stuff here, so Snow has just to go back again.
Yeah,
And no, maybe it's a window for Diarouga to push. He will try to pressure a bit more now, but I don't know. There is reinforcement coming for Snow, so maybe they will have to stay at this position, and this fight will have done nothing. We will
yeah.
see.
The problem is that well, Daruga just revived his hero again with the fire pit dance, but it has to walk all the way from the fire pit, so not getting any bonus or XP era for
That's true.
now. Um, the thing is that Snow
Mm.
just has.
The thing is that the
Yeah.
eager runner are really insane at killing the cavalry. Did you see how fast this Ursa ran
Yeah,
down?
yeah, definitely. They're really strong against those hussars, and even against well, with this mass against musketeers, they will do fine. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
but let's see at
Okay.
those hussars how quickly they're going to go down. It should be pretty insane. Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
one-shotting them.
yeah, and he's overkilling a lot these times, but still, that's
Yeah.
very efficient.
The problem is that Snow just has a really good backup for units. He's got a lot of resources in his bank. He's got a lot of stables and barracks, um,
Mm.
and
But to be
he can
honest,
just
I think
keep. Snow.
Jaruga will win now because he has killed everything, every single military unit of Snow, and his army is stronger in late game, I think. And
Yeah, and the problem
yeah,
is that Snow is basically still in Age 4. He's not done a single Imperial Age upgrade. Even his plantations aren't upgraded at the highest level yet. And, well, without Imperial upgrades, he just wasted 8,000 resources.
mm,
The only thing he got out of that is he got to send every shipment once again. But that's definitely not worth it. And I think that's a big mistake from Snow, just not doing those very precious Imperial upgrades.
yeah, it was probably too early to go H5, but yeah, yeah, no, they have the same economic population, and the military population is very one-sided.
Yeah,
Okay, so GG.
and
There we go.
Snow resigning. This is
Gaia
Daruga
Gaia Warrior Priest.
doing his special taunt again. This is
This was very lame, and it must have been annoying Snow, but it worked.
what a game. This was definitely very interesting. Of course, Daruga with his very defensive Boneng style. I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure how to call it. Town dense,
that's
improved
the
buildings.
biggest turtle I have ever seen.
Yeah, this I really didn't expect him to win this, but once he started taking very good fights and Snow just didn't get any Imperial upgrades, yeah, at that point it was basically over. But wow, I didn't think it would end this way. This was quite a roller coaster. Um,
Yeah, I was a bit afraid for Snow because I just played before the same stuff versus Diaruga, and I knew the late game would be a bit hard to deal with. But this was very close and nice to watch.
yeah, definitely, and something else. This it's not something you see a lot. These kind of builds from the Aztecs.
No, very, yes, it was a very disruptive build. I'm happy to see this thing. It was enjoyable, I think, and I think Jaruga will now be very confident with his 2-0 lead, and he has a decent map for him coming up with Fertile Crescent that is not that is a bit low on hunt. So yeah.
Yeah, quickly going to let's see. I'm quickly going to do a short shout out to the ones behind these tournaments. Of course, we're all volunteers, just doing this in our free time. We're not taking any of the money from donations or subscriptions. So I want to hype a bit of the fact that it's the viewers and those that donate who make these tournaments possible. So if you like what you're seeing and if you want to see more of these high level tournaments with interesting scenarios and different rules, consider donating or subscribing to our channel. Right now we don't have any emotes yet, but we have had a contest of picking a very good emote for our channel, and I think we already have a winner, and that emote is pending right now. So if Twitch hurries up, we can use that emote soon enough, in just a few days. So okay, if
Do
you
you know what the winner is?
I think the one winner is Cowhacks, but I think we already have 5 emote slots, so we can do more of
Oh,
them.
okay.
So we have a few pending already, including Cowhacks and I think EZ as well. So
Oh, okay, nice.
yeah, there's that. I'm trying to subscribe as well in the meantime, but looks like it's not a response. Oh, there it is. A very loud noise in my ear. Edeholland just subscribed. Well, if you want to make me and bwinner deaf, just subscribe to our
Subscribe.
channel right now.
Well, I don't hear that, so you will
Oh,
just kill edeholland.
okay. You just deafened me. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into H3. I would actually say game 3 now, and
Yeah.
yeah, if you're supporting us, thank you. So,
Yeah.
Daruga 2 games up.
Yeah, that's very unexpected, especially on the previous map. Yeah, this was a big cheese, and the map was very good for Brits, and Diarouga was not very confident with his build, but it was a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure why
as
Snow
expected.
is not readying up just yet. Perhaps he's thinking about what Sif he could play. Oh no. mm, maybe.
Yeah,
Try,
he
try.
must be very worried about what is gonna happen because he still needs to win this map, and that will be an hard one if the ants are not very high. And then there is still in the even if he wins this one, there is the game 5 that like he needs to win all the 3 remaining game. On the last map will be Cascade Range, which is a hard map for Brit.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to go into the third game. Clicking in here on Virtual Crescent, we have Daruga versus Snow, game 3. So far, 2 games up for Daruga, so that's match point. It's only a best of 5, so if Daruga wins this game, he's going to the semi-finals in a very unexpected turn, I would say. Daruga wasn't really confident in this series, but looks like so far he's being successful.
Yeah, I think that the fact Snow is more a team player than a 1v1 player might have been very favorable for Diarouga because he put him in an unexpected spot with the previous game, and Snow was a bit confused, and it was hard for him to react. It's something that is harder when you have more experience on teams than on 1v1. And
Yeah.
yeah,
What do you think
I think
about
that was the plan.
what do you think about the Huns, real quickly? Do you think they're fine for?
I'm checking right now. Mm, yeah, I think they are fine.
Okay,
It's
cool.
mm, yeah,
Then this time,
yeah,
no,
it's fair.
at least no drama. Let's see what these guys are doing. I think most of the good treasures are on the side of the map here, aren't they? At least in this case.
Mm.
We have a
Well, there is some gold treasure in the middle, so yeah, that's not as good as wood treasure as you just mentioned.
yeah,
Let's
100
look at
food, also really strong. Maybe
Yeah,
it is
true.
just this one spawn, but it seems to me that the sites have quite
No,
strong treasures.
it just this one spawn because there is very often like this gold treasure could very well be the wood treasure of 90 wood or something. It's a bit random, and there is sometimes very good treasure in the middle.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they're going to pick up next. The Aruga already herding in another hunt. Interesting. Perhaps with the villager that built that fire pit. Very early herding for him.
Yeah,
Snow building 2 manor houses. So and the Aruga going for the market. So he's
yeah,
going
because
for
it was
hunting dogs.
a wood start,
Yeah.
and that's what you do as a as sorry as a Aztec. Also, Jaruga got one wood and one gold treasure of 50 each, so it helps a lot to with the market. Though the wood treasure was a bit late, so he only used the gold treasure.
Yeah, and now another 80 coin has been picked up by Daruga, so I don't really think there are any very influential treasures left. Only thing. No, it's
No,
just very small 40 coin, 30 XP. So, yeah, the treasure contention is not too
yeah,
important right now anymore. What is important is scouting out what your opponent is going to do. Sending villagers forward, or making walls, or building trade posts. I think that's the best use of the explorers right now.
yeah.
Snow.
And Snow is already hunting as well, and he's aging up in a very decent time as Brits. So that's good for him because on yeah on his hunting this one as well, it's yeah, I would have maybe preferred him to hunt this one, but
Oh, loud.
that's close to be the same. And I
Okay.
like that he hunts very early because when the hunts are a bit far like this, you can fear an early aggression from Aztec. So it's good that he's preparing for this.
Yeah, Snow already hurting this one as well, building a manor house in front to get some line of sight. And it looks like Aztecs is going for an interesting treasures, giving 5 more populations, which is, well, like a half a house. So it does give him 50 wood, basically, for 3
Yeah,
tigers. Meanwhile, Luktom did
three tigers
donate.
is a lot, but it's an useful treasure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Luktom donated $2, so thank you, Luktom, for donating and watching the stream, of course. And now there's a total of 3 tigers in Daruga Zoo in his arsenal, trying to scout
Yeah,
out.
that's
But
true that this little army can make the difference later for a fight. So it's always good, but he needs to take care of them because there is the explorer for snow. Okay, um, I don't know what they are doing. Okay, the explorer is trying to see where these villagers are going because they are probably going to build the warhead for Jaruga.
yeah, okay, he didn't really block it. So, but he did scout out the warhead. Now picking up a sniper with his crack shot, and
Oh, but that's 90 XP for Jaruga. This explorer very
oh, of
well.
course, yeah, he was right there, and he didn't complete the fire pit tech yet. So no
No,
bonus XP,
I,
but still nice
I
nice
think
job
he
by
waits a
Daruga.
bit because it's a bit hard to do in early game. You really can't do this kind of improvement, but it will be very useful later, especially like if you try to siege this manor house, for example. It will be good to have this improvement of the fire pit because the manor house give a lot of XP when you siege them down. So that's a good thing for Aztec.
Yeah, that is true. Those manor houses normally are not something you would immediately go and siege down because British has always got enough population basically. But when you're Aztecs, it can actually be quite useful just for the XP boost. Snow, yeah, definitely knows he's going to be under pressure. The warhead is in front of his base, so he needs to do a good job of herding and managing his villagers. Unfortunately, this hunt did just back herd, so it's now quite far
Oh,
away out of his base. So I wish Snow would just add some walls to his base right now. Of course, walling is maybe a little bit lame considered by some people, but I think in this case it's perfectly fine to build a few walls just to make sure you can
that's good.
safely gather I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Um, but he has still hunt in base, so he's okay. And he has started quite aggressively with the rocks very early, and knows the stable already from the 700 wood. While diarouga has still shipped the free warrior priest as the first shipment in H2, and he's now going a bit in with some massacrating and coyotes. Yeah, that's a big army for diarouga already, killing 2 villagers.
yeah, so even when diarouga is going to be relatively aggressive with his warhead and sending things like 10 maces, he still got the 3 warrior priests out, which definitely helps his economy and helps getting shipments out. So he's not going all in on his aggressive route.
Yeah. Yeah, but still Snow has a lot better economy with the 5 villager coming in. So that's still a very aggressive build from Jaruga with 10 Massaculating and then followed by 9 Massaculating. And yeah, Snow already lost 3 villagers, I think. Yeah. So I would say Jaruga is in a good spot now.
Yeah, me too. Snow is again, like usual, sending some hussars forward,
Oh,
and he's going to take out 3 villagers from Daruga that were building the warhead earlier. So this is
yeah,
definitely
Jaruga doing it.
something Daruga has to watch out for, because those 2 hussars are not going to stop after they took down those villagers. They're going to keep raiding Daruga until every last one of his
Okay,
villagers
they
is
will
dead.
save one. Oh, but Massaculating are popping in front of these 2 hussars. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I think
that's
they will die. Okay, so Jaruga is getting pushed away by these 6 longbows shipments, and now it begins to look decently for Eric. Yeah, Eric is in a good spot now,
yeah,
I
Snow
think.
also took down some Mesa Haltons that popped out of the warhead, and he took them down with the 2 hussars that were raiding earlier. So he had a really good
Exactly.
trade on two fronts at once. And now Diaruga is almost completely out of military population, whereas Snow has got some longbowmen left.
Yeah, but in the end, Jaruga managed to save his pikemen and the 2 massacre teams, so he still has a lead in military population in the end, but he's 10 villager behind.
Yeah,
What is will be hard now for Snow is that he is running slowly out of food,
well,
and
yeah, this hunt is relatively okay to gather
safe.
from, since Daruga has to walk a long path to get there if he wants to raid out those units. So I think
Yeah,
so.
you can also build a small war here, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
it's totally safe.
So yeah, so far I think Snow is still in a fine position, and let's see what Daruga is going to do about it. His main unit is actually Puma Spearmen, so he should really be worried about Longbow and Musketeers mostly, not really about Hussars from Snow. Um,
Yeah, exactly. And Snow doesn't have USAR yet, but he will certainly do some later. Okay, there we go. He has 5 hussars now.
okay, so
Oh, Jawaga is wasting a bit of units. He
yeah,
didn't lose any, but some HP.
he was trying to scout out what Snow was doing and where he was gathering, and he succeeded in that, but took a few shots in the process. 5 Hussars going forward for Snow, so again, going to delay Daruga even more, draw his attention to other side of the map, perhaps taking down 1 or more villagers. Snow completely on berries. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
He has scouted 2 of the hunts here, but perhaps he doesn't really realize how
Oh,
safe that hunt is.
actually, I'm not sure he has spotted his hands. Did you press Control
Yeah,
Shift
I did.
F?
Yeah, I see
You see,
one animal.
yeah. Yes, so maybe he's not very sure there is a hunt here. I'm
Still
not sure
though,
he noticed.
he's gathering from this one, so he's not completely on berries, but definitely gathering from
Yeah.
berries with a lot of units. He's got 28 villagers on food right now. I'm not quite sure what Snow's composition is going to be, since he doesn't really need 30 villagers on food. He needs to balance it out a little bit. Maybe he's got 700 gold on the way. That is something I expect.
Oh, the pikemen are a bit out of position, but okay, they are back now. I think this could be a close fight, and the deciding one.
Yeah, definitely. Snow sent 6 musketeers as his latest shipment, and for that was his go time. And now pushing out with a lot of musketeers and still a decent hussar mass. And I think he's doing quite a good job right here. Jaguar Prowl Knights are coming out, doing good damage against the musketeers. But in the end, I think Snow has got the mass here, and he's got a follow-up of even more musketeers coming.
I'm not sure. I believe it's very close, but Snow really has to win this fight. Like, a dwarf fight is not a good thing for Snow because then he can't take more map, and that's bad because he will need to, especially if he doesn't scoot his hunt.
Yeah,
But okay, Snow won eventually.
so right now the military unit population, it definitely does count those warrior priests, because the total military units are 7 maces and 2 puma, but he's got 23 on the screen, so not too good for Snow.
Exactly, but no, there is some coyotes that are going to catch these musketeers together with
with the warriors.
Oh,
Those warriors
yes.
actually doing pretty good damage, 26.
Oh yeah, yeah, they are good units.
Just like
It
normal
was
Minutemen.
not bad. Oh, but I didn't notice that Diarouga was on 10 warrior priest. No.
Yeah, he has been on 10 warrior priest also during the fight, which definitely helped him. So yeah, the military unit population is about even right now. Snow has got 8 hussars, which can make it a nightmare for diarouga to hunt on the map. On the other hand, they're not too effective against things like Jaguar Prowl Knights or Puma Spearmen. So Snow really has not. Yeah, he's still got only one animal in his vision, and
Yeah, that's too bad that he didn't scoot this.
yeah.
Because no, he will be he will be on berries on a very exposed spot. So
Yeah,
that's not
this
the best. And
is
he's going here as well.
very unfortunate. Looks like he's going to use his hussars to raid around a little bit. This is definitely not a place where he can go. And okay, he almost got caught out of position there.
Yeah. And we will see if Diarouga notices. He can't notice the berries at least, but he could still go there for like randomly, so that's still risky.
Yeah, those hussars are getting caught, and I think at least one of them died
Yeah,
near
not
that
just
warhead.
one, but no
Yeah.
one more is getting hit on. Okay,
And
that was a nice micro from Snow to escape the 4 other ones.
okay, so those hussars here not really being too effective just yet. The Ruger pushing out onto that hunt, killing at least one villager there. Snow
Yeah, just one, so that's fine.
killing off the
There's
hero and the remaining
hero
warriors.
burn. That's good pickup for Snow. Diarouga was sieging a manor, but now he's trying to watch at these vills. But the good thing for Haywick is that he will scoot the hunt, maybe. Is this villager here?
Oh, now he's maybe finally got it scouted, but Diarouga's got it scouted as well with the coyote that are here.
Yeah, exactly.
Snow doing a night raid. Killing off at least one more villager. Let's see at the total villagers lost. Diarouga lost 5 so far and Snow just 4.
Yeah, which is good for Snow because he has been under pressure. So that's good that he still managed to kill more villager Diarougas than the other way.
Yeah.
And Snow has a lot of food in bank. I don't know what's his plan exactly.
No, me neither. I think he's overcommitting on gathering food. I mean, he's safely gathering from hunts here, but with 1,700 food in your bank, you're not really going to make any units unless you also have the food or gold.
Should move this villager to gold since they are on berries, so not efficient anyway. and he's going to push a bit, but that's a bit of a problem that he has that much food in bank while pushing. It should be units and
Yeah, exactly. This could have been another 20 longbowmen. But
oh, look at this.
oh, that is going to be a nice catch by diarouga. Meanwhile, Eric was raiding here, but
Everyone moving in now.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
the
they're
massacre
actually
king.
they're actually
Okay,
moving into the same place, right next to each other. A lot of puma from diarouga, total of 29 puma, but so basically the hussars from Snow are rendered useless. Meanwhile, Snow is losing a lot.
yeah, I will say diarouga is winning this fight, and it will be game, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I would have hoped those hussars actually go to the coyote to prevent all those villagers from going down. But he's definitely going to lose this fight. There's just too many puma for his hussars to handle, and a few of those musketeers aren't going to cut it.
Yeah,
They're not going to be
I
enough.
expect the GG, no.
There it
Okay,
is!
there we go.
The GG have been called, and now it's 3-2-0 for diarouga.
Oh,
Congrats.
yeah. Congratulations to diarouga. It was definitely an impressive achievement to win 3-0 to Eric with this matchup. But yeah, as Eric is saying, it's not his day. So I believe he could do a bit better. But diarouga played very well.
Yeah, definitely.
Fine.
They're also saying in the chat it wasn't really Snow's day, and diarouga admitting that Snow should have won this series if he was playing at his best potential. So, unfortunately for Snow, not winning a game in this series, but 3-2-0 for diarouga. Congratulations, diarouga. This is,
Very well played.
yeah,
It
definitely.
was nice games, and there was a lot
Interesting
of
games.
variety. We saw 3 different gameplay on game from diarouga, so he was very well prepared, I think, for this series. Especially the game 2, of course, was a totally new build. That was a bit like totally cheesy, I need to say, but
Yeah,
it worked, and
what I still liked is
nice.
that we had 3 different strategies during the 3 games. At first we had a semi FF or maybe a full FF with his warrior, with his hero cards and the chief upgrade. And secondly we had the water boom and the defensive cards. And here we had a more aggressive build. So we have seen a lot of different strategies. It wasn't the same goon skirm battles in H3 that you hate to see every game. So that was really
Yeah,
interesting to me.
and I think it was nice adaptation to the maps from diarouga, because like the first map, it had decent hands, and so this was not really possible to win with an H2 war with an aggressive build. So diarouga decided to go for something greedy and go H3. Then there was the water, and diarouga used it with perfection. And the last game, the map is a bit low on hunts usually, so diarouga decided to just go for an aggressive build and contain breeds on the berries, like Snow has hit all the berries he had on his base, and that's good to force the opponent to do that.